Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise, and we're very pleased to continue the conversation with the very distinguished CEO of URCA, Mr. Stephen Barreau. Stephen, you've been a very busy man this past week. In fact, you've been a very busy man from you took the position, but this past week in particular, you know, you've had a lot of conversation relative to number portability, which of course commenced yesterday.
Yes, it did, yeah. Finally got the kinks ironed out yesterday morning. A number of people were successfully able to port between the two mobile operators. And it continues obviously every day. It's a huge benefit that we've been working on for several months, and we're very pleased to be able to bring it to the Bahamian cellular market.
And you know what, this really speaks right now to the fact that we have entered into a real competitive environment. I mean, because before bringing in a new provider, people were still having two phones and two numbers. Now there's the option, this is a true litmus test to see how competition is going.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, we've had in the Bahamas a sort of accelerated route into competition because we started late compared to most other countries. So we've delivered and continue to have to deliver a lot of sort of competition framework, a lot of the framework in a very short, very crunched space of time. And you know, respect to the operators that have worked along with URCA to try to deliver competition, so for the benefit of the public.
Okay, so we're talking about obviously cellular number portability. Tell us exactly, you know, what that means, the process involved, whether or not there's an interruption to service, how long does it take, are there costs associated with it?
Yeah. Now, the way it should work, the way it's supposed to work, is that you go into the provider you want service from, so not your old provider. As long as you have a working cell phone. So by working, you have to be able to make calls and send SMSs on the phone.
Okay.
That obviously has, you know, you have to pay your bills.
Right.
But as long as you have a cell phone that you can make calls and send text messages on, you go into your new provider, you tell them, I'd like to buy service with you and I'd like to port my number in from my old provider. They will, the CSR, the customer service rep will sit you down, talk through a form with you, the porting form, and they'll set it up in the system, and you'll be required to send a text message to 7-port, which is the porting number.
Okay.
And they'll give you your new service, all the details. Remember to ask, because prices, everything is different.
Right.
So they will give you the details of your new service, and they'll give you a SIM card. If you're buying a handset, one of the things to bear in mind is you have to have an unlocked handset. If your handset is not unlocked, and people may not be familiar with this, but because we've only had one provider, but providers lock handsets to their networks, which means if you put in a competing SIM card, the handset itself won't accept the SIM card. So you may have to either get it unlocked, and I'll leave that to the public to figure out how to do that. We don't, I can't promote unlocking. But you know, you can either get it unlocked or you may have to buy a new handset.
Oh wow.
Or get a new handset from your operator. Obviously there's a lot of good deals right now. So you then will receive a text message on your old service telling you your number has been successfully ported, put in your new SIM card, switch out your SIM cards. From that moment you're ported. You have no interruption in service. So until that message comes through, you'll still receive calls on your old service. And as soon as once that message comes through, you put your SIM card into the phone, and you will receive calls on the same number from your new service. Simple as that. There's no cost to the consumer. A few things to bear in mind. You lose any voice messages or text messages that are on your old service, because your old service is discontinued from that point. So you lose any voice messages or anything. If you have an outstanding bill, if you're a postpaid customer and you have bills that you have to pay, you still have to pay those bills. But it would not have stopped you from porting, but even though the service is ended, you have a contractual obligation to your old provider to pay the bills.
And if it's prepaid?
If it's prepaid, it's prepaid, it's done. You lose any credit that you had on your phone, so you probably want to work it down a bit, but not all the way, because you have to have credit on your phone to send that text message and to receive the port complete message. So bear in mind, you have to have some credit, but you don't want, if you have too much, you leave it behind.
I mean, you know, this is obviously, I think it's a really good thing. The more competition we have in any industry, certainly in telecommunications, which is at the fore of business development, really. You know, what has been the feedback, obviously from the two major operators, and obviously they have to work together.
Yeah, and in particular, number portability is one of those things that they have had to work together for 9 months. We've had a working group going, It has not always been easy, as you might imagine. But you know, I will say that we have had, URCA as a regulator has been pleased generally, satisfied with the response of both operators. As is, sometimes we have to push one or the other, but generally we've been pleased with the response. And I think the public response has also been positive. You know, there's always naysayers, the people who I frankly don't really understand why you would say no to competition, to more options, more choices. But that's what we have. For the first time in this country in telecoms, every single sector of the telecommunications market now has choice. Now, could there be more choice? We would absolutely. Could there be different operators? Maybe. Could there be better operators? I don't know. I mean, no one knows. No one knows. But certainly the competition we have has been effective.
Well, excellent. I mean, you guys have done a really great job in promoting this and providing details. For those people that want to kind of get into the nitty-gritty of it, they can go to the URCA website.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have, well, there are ads running in most places right now. We also, on our website, there's a list of things that you should know, FAQs, pamphlets, and so on, giving you the information about it. And you're also free to contact URCA with questions 393-0234 or 300 URCA in the Family Islands.
Excellent. Stephen, thanks once again for spending so much time here this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise.
It's the job.
Yeah, great. Excellent. Watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.